Hey everybody, I picked a few clips from this week's rolling. If there's anything that really piques your interest, then let me know and maybe I'll make a video about it. So here I'm rolling with Harlie, 260 pounds, passes my guard, and what I wanted you to see here is how I work with my elbows. I'm really trying to get my elbows between us, and I'm trying to push his head with my elbows. Right now, I have my right elbow behind his ear, which you can't see, but you're gonna see real soon the effect that my elbow has on his head. It's really hard for him to drive his weight into me when my elbow is where it's at. At this point, I was asking him if my elbow is not hurting his ear too much, and he was saying that I should just go for it, so I did. Notice I'm not moving him, I'm moving myself out of there. He did not move, I moved out of there. I was able to put my weight on it and just let it carry me. Next position, he's playing a little bit of a lazy turtle, and whenever you play against a really big and strong guy in this position, make sure you do not give him your elbows. Both my elbows are outside. I'm not hugging him, because if I were hugging him, he would grab an elbow and roll and I would not be able to stop it. So I stick to his hip, my elbows are outside, and I monitor his leg with my legs so he's not able to re-guard. I'm jumping to the other side, sticking to the hip, and right now he got tired of it and gave me side control. A few moments later, he ended up on my side, and I turn because I don't like being spread out like that and having all his weight on my chest. So I turn away with both my arms connected or on the same side, so I feel safe this way. You should spend a little time here to make sure that you can feel safe here. As he was going for a north-south, I make sure I monitor his armpit with my elbow. So your elbow is a really great frame. Don't try to frame with your wrist, and try to rarely frame with your hand, only if it's a stiff arm. You should really try to frame with your elbows as much as possible. They can carry a lot of weight, so use it. At this point, I'm nearly out, and Harlie gets a little bored with his position, so I end up on top. At this point, I want to show you something really cool that Harlie is doing, which is, as I have this attack going on his arm, he extends his arm really far from his body. So this is really counterintuitive to everything we've been taught in Jiu-Jitsu. You know, keep your elbows close, don't get separated. But as he gets his arm so far away, I can't keep my balance on him and attack his arm. And as soon as I try to correct my balance, he wiggles out of it. This is something that I really encourage you to play with, especially if you're a big guy. Getting your limbs so far away from your body is gonna give people trouble. It can be scary, but really it's worth a try, especially if you can try it with somebody you trust and you know they're not gonna hurt you. Here, Harlie is showing me what his plan was, which is to get me so far away on his arm that he can just throw me off like this. So this should be the goal. Right now I'm trying to pass, and Harlie is trying to get me in some kind of a lockdown. And the way I stop it is by walking my knee up, walking my knee towards his butt, and in a second you'll see me do this kind of thing with my leg. This is very hard to get a lockdown on, and I feel very safe in this position. And finally, with Harlie, I was able to get under his elbow, and I'm really working that arm, trying to get anything on it. And now I was able to get a Kimura position going, but he got his arm away from him, and a Kimura can turn into an arm bar. You just need to make sure that you put your elbow just under his elbow so that you have a good fulcrum and you can get the arm bar like this. And a quick tip for my roll with Jarrett. This is a very annoying grip that people grab you from behind. They'll grab your arm, sometimes they'll reinforce it with their other hand, and you feel pretty stuck. But the thing is, you're actually only stuck going up. But there is nothing keeping you from going down. Take your hand down, do a swimming stroke, and you're out the door. Now rolling with Big Seth, he has me in a body lock position and he's starting to get really heavy with his head on me. It's really heavy and it's really tight and I don't want to stay there for a long time. So what I like to do is I make 2 fists with my hands and I scrape them on my body from both sides of his head until they reach under his chin. I do it very slowly because I don't want to punch him and I don't want to bruise him, but it'll just get really uncomfortable and he will pop his head out. I keep reaching across with my hands until one of my elbows gets under his chin. This really relieves the pressure and I'm pretty much free from the body lock position. Moving on to side control, I was able to get really good shoulder pressure on him. I am spending a lot of time reaching for that hook and tightening up the shoulder pressure. After I find it, I'm able to make him tap from it. If you haven't seen my video on it, then this is the time to go and check it out. Right now you're seeing Dustin Leonard. He's also a black belt under Daniel O'Brien, and I just want you to see him giving me a taste of that good spine crossing medicine. Notice how he keeps his spine crossed to mine, and every time he moves his head or I move his head, he corrects it with his butt to the other side. This way he's able to pass my guard. And I just wanted you to see how somebody with completely different body movements and body type passes guard and just uses the same principle. The principle is the same. You can just take it and use it for your own style. And last thing I want to show today is here I'm rolling with Clay and he starts attacking my neck. So when someone starts attacking your neck, you need to remember that the way out is through his hands. So you want to keep searching for that way out. You want to keep searching with your neck for that way out through his hands. You don't want your neck getting closer to his neck. You just want to keep that pressure on his hands and try to find your way out like that. That's it for today. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Until next time.